Hi guys, welcome to JD's Kitchen where we talk and do all things food. Today we are going to be talking baby food and I'm going to share with you guys a couple of reasons why your 6-month-old baby is rejecting all the solid foods that you give them. Now, a lot of moms have this complaint: my baby is not eating, my baby is rejecting the food, I don't know what to do, and all of that. But in this video, I'm going to be telling you some of the things that you're doing that's causing your baby to reject the food. The first thing I would say is that your baby is not rejecting the food. You think they are rejecting the food, but they are not rejecting the food. You have not tried enough. You have not been patient enough. Now, let me give you guys an illustration. So let's say you who eats fufu, cassava, gari, you eat spaghetti, you eat bread, you eat rice, and then one morning you go to see the doctor and the doctor says, oh, you have to start reducing those things and start eating more of maybe just fruits and vegetables. Let's just say you want to go into the keto diet, which is something I'm considering because I gave birth, my baby is 8 months and I still have a lot of the baby weight. I'm considering going to the keto diet. It's something I had done before. Now, back to what I'm saying. If you have to go into a diet, into maybe trying a ketogenic lifestyle or something, do you think it's going to be easy? Do you think it's going to be funny? Do you think you just, the first day they just give you one bulletproof coffee or something, you're just going to be like, oh my god, I love it, I want to keep eating this? Even if you like it, it's going to take a toll on your body. You might start having headaches, you start feeling dizzy because your body is not used to that source of energy that you're giving to it. So imagine a baby, like, for all their life, they've been alive for, like, let's say 6, 7, 8 months, and all they've known is breast milk, especially for exclusively breastfed babies. And even for babies who are not exclusively breastfed, the ones who have been taking the other artificial milk formula, they still are used to just the liquidy kind of meals. Now you're trying to make purees and give them. It's different. Their throat feels different. So you have to be patient. That's the first thing. I think a lot of moms are not patient. Like, you just give your baby this meal the first day and they reject it and you're like, oh my god, they have refused to take it. Even if you give them 5, 10 times, you have to just keep on trying different methods of introducing the same meal to them. Give them from your own plate, give them when their siblings are eating, give them from their own plate, make it a little lighter, make it a little thicker, take out a particular ingredient that you normally use to put. Try different methods until you find what works for them. Okay. The second reason I think your baby is rejecting food is because you are not getting the texture right. Okay, so for my son, when I make his pap too light, he doesn't enjoy it. You can tell that he's just like, he's fussy, he doesn't like it. He likes it when it's a little bit thick, but not too thick. So I already know that, and that helps me when I'm preparing his meal to know that, okay, I have to make sure that it has a certain consistency. So you have to also try to monitor your baby. Like, when I gave them this particular consistency, how did they receive it? Were they excited to eat it? Did they like it? And then you take note of all of those things, and then it helps you when next you're trying to make food for your baby. Another very important reason why your baby might be rejecting food is because you're introducing too many meals at the same time. Like, I think when babies get to 6 months, especially for exclusively breastfed, like, the mom is like, oh my god, leave my breast alone, let me rest, start eating food. The mom is just going all over the place searching for this one banana puree, pear puree, orange puree, this one. You're introducing too many foods to your baby at the same time. You want to slow down. Okay, you can take a week and try to give them maybe okra and mashed potato. You can take the next week and try to introduce pear, mashed pear. You can take the next week and try to introduce banana. You can take the next week and try to introduce oats, depending on the age of your baby as well. So you want to do your research and find out which foods are okay for them at what age. Okay, so you don't want to introduce too many foods, and if you introduce too many foods at a time, they might even be allergic to a particular meal, or one particular meal might be causing a problem in their body, and you'll not be able to tell which one it is, because you've given them banana today, you've given them pear tomorrow, you've given them orange, you've given them apple, you're just giving them all the purees that you saw in one video, and you have just done all of it, and you've given your baby in the same week. This is why your baby is rejecting, because they're trying to understand. I think for the first year, like after the 6th month, from the 6th to the 12th month of a child's life, you use that period not to actually get them to eat like a whole pan of food. I mean, some babies would, but if your baby is not yet eating like a whole bowl of food, it's okay. What you're using that 6-month period to do is just to get them to understand texture of food, taste of food, understand the different flavors. They just start getting adapted to it. I remember when I had my first child, it was so difficult for him to eat because I avoided giving him things. My mom would say, put this small thing in his mouth. Like if you're eating, just rub the oil and just put in the baby's mouth so that the baby should understand that this is eating time, this is how they eat, this is what people eat. So the baby should start getting used to those different flavors as opposed to just buying all the container things, the all those things in containers. You know their names, I don't want to call any company name. All those bottle things, I mean, I give my son some of those things, but majority of what he eats is something that I've made. So you want to introduce those things. Like if you're eating something like acorn, you can just take even just the soup from the acorn and put on the baby's tongue. I mean, I was one of the people that used to reject this, but when my son showed me pepper, like 4 years, he was still not eating. He was rejecting food. He wanted just biscuit and some sweet kind of container kind of things. I learned my lesson. So you want to try to introduce food to your baby slowly. Another very important reason why your baby might be rejecting food is because you are giving them food at the wrong time of the day. So you know when your baby is more active during the day, you know when they are tired and want to sleep. If it's a dry season, you know when it's so hot in the afternoon, they just want you to take up their clover or take up whatever thing on them and then maybe give them a bath and then they can sleep. You're supposed to understand the times during the day for your baby. So you should know when they are more awake, when they are more alert, and when they are more receptive to food. So that's when you should try a new meal, not when they are fussy, when they are crying, when they are sleepy, when they are pooped, not when they are uncomfortable. Because if you do that, you always be complaining, my baby is not eating, my baby is using this, my baby is using that, which is actually not the case. So you want to consider that. The next very important thing you need to take into consideration, which I think you have not, and that's why your baby is rejecting food, is the sitting position when they are eating. Some kids, I know that they fight a lot, so you have to really hold them, and sometimes you even need to exert a bit of force on them and all of that. But I think that when you start using force, if like the onset of feeding, you have to use force, they begin to identify feeding time as fighting time. So the moment they see their plate, they are ready, they are on defense. It's like you're trying to give them medication. But food time is supposed to be fun time. So maybe seeing the first days of you introducing these solids to your baby is very important. You want to make it fun. You want to make it like they need to enjoy it. They need to have a good experience, a good sitting position. They need to enjoy it, because if they have a memory of it as fighting time, as a not so good time, every time that you bring them food, every time you approach them with their food, you realize that they'll fight. And that's why you see that sometimes it's easy for a child to eat from the mother's plate as opposed to their plate. So they have identified their plate as something that is not nice, something that they have to push against. So you want to take into consideration how you introduce solids to them, the mood you set and everything. It has to be a happy moment, like they should be excited when they see their plate coming. Another one that is very important that I think a lot of people might not know, and this one you should know, like why do you use a blender that you blended ginger, garlic, pepper, and you've not washed it well, and then you think you can blend a fruit puree for your baby there and it will not be smelling? Like, why do you do that? If you don't have like a separate blender to blend your baby's things, when you want to blend your baby's food, make sure you wash the blender thoroughly and then you rinse it with hot water. Like I always do this thing that I pour hot water, very hot water in the blender, then I blend. Okay, even if you don't want to use hot water, you can use cold water, just normal water. Put something, maybe dish washer inside, then blend so that everything comes out and you are sure that the fruits are not going to be attracting the flavor from the pepper, the ginger, and all of that. Just imagine that. I don't know, I see some people, like that's why I cannot even put my fruits, like fruits in the let's say I peel pineapple and then I put it in the fridge in the same compartment where there's spices and pepper. Like I see people doing that and I'm like, how do you end up eating the fruit? Because the fruit just sucks in the smell of the spices and the pepper, and it's not giving fruits anymore, it's just giving one funny foreign spices. So you want to take that into consideration. It's very important even for the health of your baby. Like whatever it is you use to make your baby's food has to be very hygienic. You cannot be careless, you cannot be nonchalant when doing that. So you have to take that into consideration. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it has helped you. Try out these points that I've shared in the video and leave in the comment section what other thing do you think that mommies do or caregivers do that cause their babies to reject food. Leave it in the comment section. Subscribe if you're first. Subscribe if you are not yet subscribed, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.